How dare they expect me to clean up their mess? How dare they act as if I was the one in the wrong? The next call arrived minutes later, and this time I answered. Violet, my mother said before I could respond. This isn't amusing anymore. We are stranded. Do you know how embarrassing this is? I took a leisurely sip of tea. Embarrassing? Do you think this is embarrassing? Try saving for years, organizing every detail, and then being told you aren't even going on the trip you paid for. Stop being dramatic, she said. Lauren needed this more than you. And now she can figure it out, I stated firmly. You have made your decision, Mom. You wanted to take Lauren instead of me, that's great. But don't expect me to pay for her vacation. We're family, she said. We don't do this to each other? I let out a bitter laugh. Funny, I was just thinking the same thing. Lauren's voice rang out in the background crying, Mom, just hang up on her. She is being impossible. That was the last straw. Enjoy your trip, I said, my tone frigid. Oh, you can't, because it isn't your trip. That was my. And now it belongs to nobody. Goodbye. I hung up before she could respond and turned off my phone. For the rest of the evening, I felt an odd mix of anger and relief. Angry that they'd put me in this situation, but relief that I'd finally stood up for myself. They could call me dramatic all they wanted, but for the first time in my life, I wasn't going to let them take advantage of me. The following few days were blissfully quiet. With my phone turned off, I finally had space to think clearly, free of the barrage of guilt trips and accusations. I spent my mornings sipping coffee on my back porch, enjoying the calm I'd craved for so long. My afternoons were filled with work and catching up on little projects I'd been putting off. Things that reminded me how capable I was when I wasn't bogged down by their endless demands. But on the third day, curiosity got the better of me, and I turned on my phone to find over a dozen voicemails waiting for me, the first few of which were from my mother, who became increasingly upset with each one. Violet, you should call me back right now. This has gone too far. I cannot believe you are doing this. You have embarrassed us. We are your parents. How could you treat us like this? Then followed Lauren's messages, full of the same entitled tone she'd always used. This is so petty, even for you. You are wrecking everything. Just fix it, Violet. Finally, my father's voice, lower but no less pointed. Violet, I don't understand what's happened to you. Call us back so we can work this out. I paused before listening to my mother's final voicemail, which was lengthy and filled with frustration and exhaustion. Violet, she said. We are back at the airport now. The trip is destroyed, and I hope you are satisfied with yourself. Your sister is upset, and your father and I are beyond disappointed. Call us when you're ready to speak. I deleted the voicemails without responding because I wasn't prepared to talk, and I honestly didn't know if I ever would be. This wasn't a one-time error, it was the sum of years of them putting Lauren first and expecting me to accept it with a smile. As the hours passed, I reflected on all the times I'd been overlooked or dismissed, every holiday where Lauren's whims dictated the plans, every family gathering where my accomplishments were treated as afterthoughts.